Vomiting versus regurgitation. Welcome to Top Questions Answered. This video is all about vomiting and regurgitation. You will learn the difference between the two and how several species put this yummy stuff to good use in the animal kingdom. Let's start with the African wild dogs, which are also known as painted dogs. These canines will leave their pups at the den with a babysitter while the rest of the pack goes out hunting together. Once they have caught their prey, they consume it very quickly and immediately return to the den. The pups get excited and make squealing sounds while some lick the adults' faces. This encourages the adults to throw up. By doing so, they provide fresh chunks of meat for the pups and babysitter to eat. For anyone observing this behavior, it clearly comes across as vomiting. However, vomiting is the term used for ejection of contents from the stomach and upper intestine, and vomit also contains a lot of fluid. Generally, it is a reflex in response to toxins. Regurgitation is the ejection of undigested food found in the pharynx or esophagus, which is the tube that leads from the mouth to the stomach. Regurgitation looks pretty much the same coming out as it did going in, and usually happens right after eating, but can occasionally occur up to 12 hours later in wild dogs. If an excess of food is consumed quickly, it often results in regurgitation. What about ruminants that eat vegetation? If you look at their throats closely, you'll be able to see balls of chewed food move up into their mouth and down again shortly afterwards. What are they doing? Ruminants have 4-chambered stomachs. When they are out browsing or grazing, the food is stored in the first chamber. It is referred to as rumen, and this is where it softens. They later regurgitate the softened material, now called cud, and by chewing it again, they break down the particle size and cellulose content. Have you ever wondered why many species of gulls have an orange to red spot on the end of their beaks? This is the dinner bell that their mates or chicks peck to encourage regurgitation of food for them to swallow. Gulls often fly long distances to reach their nests with food. It makes sense that they regurgitate, as flying with fresh prey advertised would rapidly turn the gull into a target for larger prey higher up on the food chain. For those who are lucky enough to share habitat with owls, you will have noticed their pellets on the ground beneath their favorite tree. Some may ask, is it poop or puke? Upon dissection of the sausage-shaped pellets, it is easy to see they are made up of small bones, skulls, teeth, claws, fur, feathers, and beaks. Students are often given the task to rebuild the skeleton to find out which animal the owl ate. Should you attempt to do this, please always wear gloves to protect yourself from any nasty infections. You will be glad to know these pellets are not poop. So does the owl vomit or regurgitate? The owl's digestive system is not designed to cope with these body parts. To help them along, they have been equipped with a gizzard which acts like a trash compactor. The muscles in the gizzard compress the leftovers, making it easy for the owl to regurgitate. Are there any reptiles that regurgitate? Yes. Snakes are most likely to regurgitate their food when they are exposed to stressful conditions, such as being under attack by a predator. For snakes, it is a natural reaction to reject their meal when the need to flee for one's life arises. By regurgitating the food recently swallowed, they switch their body from using energy for digestion into using energy for escaping. By being lighter, they are able to move more swiftly. How many times have you chased a fly off your food? There are over 110,000 fly species, and most of them do not have teeth. This means they are not able to chew. When a fly is hungry, it lands on your food and vomits out a mixture of stomach acid and saliva, which breaks down the solid material and converts it into a soup. The fly's mouth part is designed like a straw that enables it to suck up the liquefied meal. Do elephants regurgitate? Immediately we think of food, right? Of course they don't regurgitate their food. Their stomachs are not designed to do that like the ruminant stomachs are. But what about that elephant flask we spoke about in a previous video? Do you think that can be classed as regurgitated water? We have covered carnivores, ruminants, birds, reptiles, insects, and the elephant. How about humans? Can humans regurgitate? The answer is yes. 67% of 4-month-old infants regurgitate more than once per day, which is commonly known as spitting up. Do you know any interesting information about animal vomit or regurgitation? Share it in the comments section below.